The
Yeah.
boy took the brand new military uniform, but noticed there was someone else's name on the collar.
Die gehört schon wem.
But the instructor said it was just something that someone else didn't want. Paul left naively, holding the military uniform in his arms, but didn't notice under the instructor's feet those dozens of torn name tags, and the teenagers immersed in the dream of becoming heroes simply had no idea that these military uniforms, just a few days ago, were still worn by another group of soldiers who had just been killed in action. It was the 4th year after the outbreak of World War I. Paul, who was still in high school, under the encouragement of the principal, fantasized that he could march the German Iron Cavalry into the capital of France. But soon, he was awakened by reality. A shell exploded not far from them. Paul mistakenly thought it was a poison gas shell and shouted for his comrades to put on their gas masks. It turned out to be just a dud, but because he was helping others, Paul, who put on the mask a bit slower, caught the instructor's attention.
Die paar Bäume werden bei Tagesanbruch fast sicher tot sein.
That night, Paul was sent to stand guard, but there came a faint sound from outside the dark position. Paul excitedly raised his rifle and pulled the trigger without hesitation, but he didn't know that the muzzle flash would expose his position. Fortunately, the enemy made a wrong judgment, and Paul wasn't hit. But unfortunately, France kept firing shells. The new recruits without any experience could only scurry into the dugout in a panic. Death was so close to them. Paul deeply regretted his decision to join the army, but the shells had already exploded above them. This was the last sight Paul saw when he didn't have time to escape. When he woke up again, it was when he was dug out by his comrades. Paul survived, but the comrade beside him wasn't so lucky. He stared blankly around, then stood up shakily and joined the rescue team, collecting the name tags of the dead soldiers. It was then that Paul finally understood how this military uniform with someone else's name on it came to be. In just a few short weeks, on the German side alone, more than 40,000 soldiers were killed. The shortage of troops even made the generals in the rear turn their thoughts of conscription towards the children who would never reach adulthood.